Hi guys, welcome back to Hanging Out with Lori. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. I did not sleep for anything last night, so if I look a little tired, that is why. But today I am excited to be bringing this video. The idea came about after my dear friend Andrea gifted me all of the bite-size mini palettes. When Andrea gifted me these palettes, I had just purchased a few items when they had their big sale. And so I thought, why not use the items that you purchased in that sale along with these palettes and create a look. So I do not have a full face of e.l.f. products. So what I don't have, I will just use whatever I am panning. I used my e.l.f. eye primer in sheer, and it's a really thin formula. I have not used this enough to really have formed an opinion on it. I've just used it a handful of times, but because it works well enough, I use it. Okay, I'm using my e.l.f. fluffy blending brush is what I believe it is. The letters have all ripped off, but I'm just taking my Makeup Revolution to set my primer. So Andrea has a channel here on YouTube, and I met her because we do the Birthstone collab together. I will have Andrea's link down below so you can go check her out. If you don't already follow her, you should. She has a lot of great content and she's just a sweet lady. And funny enough, she lives where I used to live. Well, near where I used to live. Definitely my stomping grounds growing up. I am going to start off with Carnival candy. I know. It has that gorgeous blue, but I am going to dust this into my crease, the lightest shade, and up into my transition. I love e.l.f. Their eyeshadows for me are hit and miss, but for the most part, the majority of their products really suit me. During the sale, I picked up some highlighters, some blushes, a contour palette, a cream blush and contour palette. I also picked up their 16-hour hydrating camo concealer. I had initially purchased the just camo concealer, and someone told me that it wouldn't work for me because I have such dry skin. It would just look really heavy and cakey and dry. So I picked up that hydrating one after it was released, and I gifted the regular camo concealer to my friend Jammie, who also has a channel, and I will link her down below. She's like my twin and I love her to pieces. And I met her through the Birthstone collab as well. Okay, I'm going to take this like suede color and put it in my crease and up onto my transition. These do not have names, the shades don't, which is fine with me. I mean, we're working with a palette of 4, so I don't feel it's necessary to have a name with a palette of 4. I guess that would be called a quad, right? Oi, Lori. They are rather dusty, which is fine. I don't mind a little kick up as long as they perform well and blend well. Kick up doesn't bug me at all. I don't really have a lot left on my brush, but I'm just trying to take it just a little bit higher. I really like this suede shade. It's pretty. I'm actually going to take it and just build it up a little more. This fluffy blending brush is one of my favorite brushes that e.l.f. makes. I have a lot of favorites by them. I don't own as many brushes as I used to by them because they tend to fall apart here at the ferrule. And that's okay because they were older brushes. I like that they are so cheap. My favorite brush of all time is this pointed powder brush. I love this brush. It is so versatile. You can use it to do almost anything. I use it with bronzer. I use it with blush. I use it just with powder. I love that brush. I am going to take this rusty shade here and I'm just going to work it into my crease. I'm also working it down onto my lid. I've picked up a little more just to dust some onto my lid. And then whatever was on my brush, I just took it right through my socket over to the corner. There's basically nothing on my brush when I took it through my socket. All right, I'm not sure if I want to put blue on this look. Oh, Lori, why not? I'm going to take the blue and I'm going to use a brush to do this so I can have a little more control. And I am going to put it in that open space on my lid. I decided to put it on the whole lid because I was liking it that much. It's a very stunning blue. Not the look I thought I would go for today, but hey, I thought I would use a couple more palettes today. However, I'm really liking that Carnival Candy palette. Okay, I do not have a face primer, so I'm just going to use Wet n Wild 3-in-1 primer spray, and that's in Rose. I'm also going to use my Maybelline Baby Skin. I had wanted this foundation serum for years, and I ordered light medium, and I have tried the light medium in the store, you know, where I've tested it, and the colors match has been pretty spot on. This is extremely dark, so I will be taking my LA Girl Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment. I have never used this before, so this could go wrong in so many ways. But I was not happy that they sent me. It is marked light medium, but I think they filled the bottle with medium tan or something. Oy. Are you not going to work for me? Oh, it is squirting all over my desk. But I was really bummed they sent me the wrong colors. Okay, I'm going to use my sponge only because I cannot locate my brush. I don't know where it went. I'm hoping I didn't make it too light. This is what it looks like now. It's a hot mess on my hand. But this foundation serum is more like, I want to say like my foundation oil by Kosas, in that it's very thin. You probably can use your fingers with it, but because I needed to mix that pigment in with it, I decided to. I was going to use my brush, but I don't like that it spits. That really upsets me. Okay, that actually looks okay. The color's a little odd, but next time I just won't put in as much white. It feels really dry to the skin. Like it feels almost powdery when I touch it. There's still a little tack, but not a whole lot. All right, for concealer, I do have the Hydrating Camo concealer like I talked about. And I picked up the shade Light Peach. I also picked up the Camo sponge. I'm hoping this color works. I picked up the sponge not during their sale, but at Walmart. I saw it one day there when I was picking up some other stuff. So let's see how this works. Have any of you used this sponge before? Do you like it? It's really soft. It's definitely not like their other sponges. I have used their sponges. In fact, I thought about pulling one out of my stash to do this video, but my 2 sponges are rather new, so I didn't want to bring out a third when I didn't need to. But those are really hard. I don't find them to be comfortable, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I guess I really prefer a softer, bouncier sponge. Okay, that concealer, what I can see of it so far, it blends really nicely. It doesn't pull or anything like that. I don't know if it's a combination of the concealer and this sponge, but I really like how that concealer looks on my face. That's really nice. I believe this is called the Aqua palette. I want to say it is. It has a cream peach, which is called pink beige, and then a cream bronzer, which is called bronzed. I was looking for my contour brush and I can't find it, so I am just going to take my little Camo sponge and put it into this bronzer. Now, I have swatched this bronzer. I have never used it, however, so we'll see how it goes. I just want to get a little color on my face. That's a nice color for my skin. I don't have a lot of cream bronzers. I do have them, I just don't have a lot, but I really like cream bronzer. I like the healthy glow that it gives. I mean, I like powder bronzer too, but cream bronzer, there's just a different look to it. I am really enjoying this sponge. It's very easy to control what I'm doing with this bronzer. I'm going to use my smaller stippling brush for the blush, and because I don't know how pigmented this is, I knocked some off onto my hand, and I'm glad I did. Holy Toledo, that's pink. This is a really nice formula. I'm just going to go over these cream products with my sponge. Let's go over this with my fluffy pointed brush. I love this brush. I'm just putting a really light dusting on because I'm not sure how my bronzer, my powder bronzer and blush perform. So I'm just putting down a light dusting. Okay, I have a contour palette and I have an illuminating palette. Okay, I'm going to take this shade here, and I'm using my Firma 103. I don't know. I don't have a clue where I got that. I'm assuming this is more of a contour color. Oh, that's dark. Don't worry, I'll work it out. I'm not going to leave that straight there. I promise. I hope. Holy smokes, you do not want to blend that. Not good. So much for laying down a powder, huh? I've just gone in with this color here just to warm up my skin, and I'm just using this large fluffy brush because it was in my hand and it feels good on the face. And I'm just going in lightly because I went in lightly with the contour and we all saw what happened there. That's funny. We all learn. Okay, this... Oh. All right, so we found that little pan that fell out. So this is the Illuminating Palette. This is what it looks like. I do believe it is the light one, but it doesn't say on the palette. I swatched them backwards. So I'm swatching them to see what I want. I think I'm going to go with this second one right here. That's pretty. It gives a really nice pink sheen. Can you see it? It's very soft, but it's really pretty. I'm actually going to take my e.l.f. Modern Metals face palette, and I am just going to take the bronzer right here in the middle just to warm up the face just a little bit more. I picked up this blush called Shy, so I'm just going to pop it on the cheeks and hope it is dark enough. If not, that Modern Metals palette, it has blushes. Very dusty. So I'm going to start at the back and work my way forward. This should be actually a little bit lighter, but it doesn't really look like it. It's really pretty here. Can you see that? Shy is actually really pretty. I like it. I thought it would be too light for this look. I'm going to go back in with the highlighter, but I'm going to use a different brush this time, and I'm going to tap between this shade here and this shade here, just to see if I can build it up. So may not be able to without it getting dusty. All right, I am going to go off camera and use my Cella Tantalizing Taupe Brow Cream and my Ciate London Triple Shot XXL Mascara, as well as this e.l.f. eyeliner. I'm not sure if this one is the blue or the black one. My friend gifted, I guess she gifted me charcoal. I purchased the navy, and it's navy. So I'm going to go do that off camera, and I will be right back. If only I could snap my fingers. All right, guys, let me finish up this eye look. I'm going to take Cream and Sugar and put it on my brow bone and also in my inner corner. Okay, that is highly sparkly. And then let's put on a lip. I have 3 lipsticks by them. They're all new. This is Pink Mink. This is actually a replacement. That's what it looks like. It's really a pretty pink. This is Ravishing Rose. And this is Rosy Go Round. Man, I definitely have a type when it comes to lipsticks. Let's try Rosy Go Round. If I don't like it, we can always change it. It's got a sweet taste to it. Okay, that's Rosy Go Round. I actually like it, but I'm going to try the other ones. This one is Pink Mink. That's definitely not it. That is not the shade I want. And this is Ravishing Rose. I don't know. Do I like Ravishing Rose more with this, or do I like Rosy Go Round? I do like this Ravishing Rose. I have crooked lips, but let's put this Rosy Go Round. Okay, I like those two together, the Ravishing Rose and the Rosy Go Round. Who'da thunk? And then let me spray my face with the Makeup Mist and Set. This is my Ride or Die setting spray. And it's because the first time I had a major seizure, I was at church and I had used this setting spray for the first time that day. It was like around 11 when the seizure happened. We were at the hospital around 10:30, 11:30, something like that at night. And I told the nurse, I said, oh, my makeup's got to be around my knees or something like that. And she said, no, other than a little black under your eyes, your makeup looks perfect. So I am a huge fan of the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I will always have this in my collection as long as they're creating it. Okay, let's go over these items. I like the eye primer. It's really thin. I haven't used it enough to know if it works or not, but it seems to be working okay. I mean, my makeup looks good so far. That blue is holding its own just fine with this primer. The palettes, I only use 2 of them, but I really like them. They're extremely pigmented. I mean, look at that blue. Absolutely stunning. Just bold and in your face. That wasn't quite what I was going to say, but that's what needs to be said. And it's just pretty. They blended beautifully. I love the color stories of all of these eyeshadow palettes. I think they are just beautiful color stories. Next, we used this foundation. This is future Lori here. After I had used this foundation serum that evening when I removed my makeup, I had little red bumps all over my face. And so my opinion about this foundation serum has changed. It's not something I will use again in the future, not because of the color being incorrect, but because of how my face reacted to that serum and the pigment that I had to mix in with it. All right, the next 2 items go hand in hand. We have the Hydrating Camo Concealer and the Camo Sponge. This is in light peach. I was worried about the shade, but I actually like it. It brightens up my under eye, and it really covered up my dark spots, which I'm surprised. This sponge, amazing. This is the best small sponge I have ever used. It's really soft, and you can really get it into the corner of your eye, your inner corner there. So I really like this. I'm going to have to invest in more of these because they really are a nice sponge. Not what I was expecting. The next one is the Aqua palette. I really like this. It's very pigmented. The colors are gorgeous. They blend beautifully. I didn't get any like catching or drag. I did not have to work hard to blend it out. It just blended out really smoothly. And I really appreciate that. And the color is gorgeous on both shades. I think they were very appropriate. I don't know if they come in a darker shade, but this is definitely a usable palette for someone who has light to or fair to light medium. This would work. I don't know if they have a darker one though. I hope they do. Next up was the contour palette. Not a big fan of this shade right here. I went in very gently and it just laid down the law on me, and I had a heck of a time blending. And you guys saw that I put down a powder on my face because I didn't know how the powders would perform, and I still couldn't get it to blend. I could understand if I hadn't and it was grabbing to all that cream product. I could understand that, but I had. So I don't understand why it didn't blend. This was a nice bronzer. I was surprised that it worked for my skin tone. It was kind of light, so I needed to go in with a darker bronzer, but it worked. So I think this is, a pass even for the good price. Then we have the Illuminating Palette that has the broken pan. Well, it's not broken. The glue is popped off. So this was okay. If you like a light wash of a highlighter, this works perfect. If you like a more bold highlighter, this is not the palette for you. This is definitely a light wash of a highlighter. I tried to build that puppy up a lot. and I could not. While the colors are very pretty, and I think all 4 of these shades are suitable for my skin tone, and probably more so fair, they just don't pack the punch that I like in my highlighter. This next one, I am blown away by this blush, and this is in the shade Shy. It's just a peachy pink, but it packs a punch. I thought this blush would be really light on my skin, that it really wouldn't show up, and that I would need to go in with a darker shade. But I didn't. This is One Pigmented Puppy. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. I am sure that this is their $2 blush that they carry. It's great. It is not the primer infused one. I do know that. So this is one of the surprises of the day. The lipsticks. This is their moisturizing lipstick. And I really like the formula on these. Of course, I've had them before since I've owned Pink Mink in the past, but the formula is different. I do own another shade in this line. It's a really dark vampy color. These 2 shades, what is it? Ravishing Rose and Rosy Go Round. I like them. I like them both on their own, but together, this is an absolutely stunning color, and I think it really complements the eye. So I really, really like these 2 together. That shade is just gorgeous. All right, my eyeliner. When I purchased this, I had read the reviews, and all of them complained that it was really stiff, that it didn't give any pigmentation, that it kind of hurt applying it. I had none of that. I did sharpen it before I went in with it. Beautiful, nice and creamy. I mean, look at that. It just glided on as if it was a liquid eyeliner. And I even got my little wing without any problem. I don't do thick wings. I just do a little flick to lift my eyes a little bit. And the color is beautiful. I like colored eyeliners, but I think it goes nicely with this blue. I was a little worried, I will say that it might clash, but it really, really doesn't. Of course, I already talked about my setting spray, my love for the setting spray, so I won't go over that. So that is it. That is my look on a full face of e.l.f. Please leave in the comments what your favorite e.l.f. product is. I am interested to know. You guys know mine's the setting spray. e.l.f. blows my mind. They just keep getting better and better and better. And they keep expanding, and I am happy for them. I hope that they continue to be wise in what they do and making sure it is high quality products, and that it's not just, something to fill the gap that they're missing in their collection or to be like others. I hope they don't do that. I hope they stay true to themselves and that they keep putting out high quality products for a low price point. Thanks so much for being here. Please take good care of yourself. Be safe. Make sure you wash your hands, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.